Mike's on. Mike's on.
All right, a little after 3, we have tickets to give away to our primetime event at the Tiller Center on the 15th, and you get a chance to win the contest, which will give you a chance to win $10,000. That'll go a long way at Christmas, or tickets to the Yankees opening day and other things. So just keep listening every hour. Chance to win tickets, then chance to win the grand prize today, which is VIP tickets, and then that puts you into the final contest on stage at the Tiller Center. Right now, the Giants are the topic, as you would expect. A couple of NFL notes. Number one, Jameis Winston's going to be out weeks. Tampa's had a tough season. I would not be surprised if Dirk Cutter's in trouble there. And that means an old friend, Fitz, will be pitching and throwing against the Jets. So that's number one. Number two, who else got suspended, man? Somebody else got suspended. Curley got suspended. PEDs, right? For him. Okay. John joins us. What's up, John?
Hey, Mike. How you doing?
What's happening?
So question about the Giants. Mac.
Go ahead. Bad line. Sorry, can't. Sorry about that. Chris and Islip. Go ahead, Chris.
Hey, Mike, how are you?
Good. What's happening?
Good. Nothing much. I just was wondering what your thoughts are when two NFL guys mention the quit word when talking about the Giants and McAdoo's future. What do you think?
You know, clearly yesterday, and I don't like to use that word. Yesterday's one of those days you can use it. And often when it's used, it's not used correctly. But yes, and that's a word that's dire in the league. It really is, because it really has such widespread connotations. All you have to do is look to what the owner said yesterday. The owner's reaction, and I mean in this case Mara, because Mara is the football guy. You know, Tish handles the financial part of it. Mara handles the football part of it. And when you hear John say that the game speaks for itself, that means he's not happy. And that means watch out. When he won't talk this early because they have 8 games left, but you can tell he is not happy with what's going on. And you're going to have teams coming in here, Cowboys, Eagles, Redskins, late in the season. That could be just a mess. Ron in Rockland County. What's up, Ron?
Hey, how you doing, Mike?
Good.
Mike, I have a take on this. In my opinion, okay, things started to go south. You can almost feel it. Eli's been the consummate gentleman, and I want to know if Eli feels that when he got thrown under the bus, okay, and yet Odell Beckham never suffered not one insult, not one thought or concern from the coach, whether he felt, whether he felt he was being undermined by the fact that, number one, they didn't get him an offensive line. Okay, so 2 years in a row they didn't get him an offensive line, and then he gets thrown under the bus. They changed his footwork, okay, so he could release quickly. Does that mean he didn't need to have an offensive line? I wonder how Eli feels about all this, because
he's obviously not happy. But the point is that Eli is not going to quit. The question is, are they going to sit him down? And if they sit him down, he can't do anything about it. He can want to move on. We'll see what happens. But, he's got a streak. The Giants may or may not be, care about that streak. I would think they wouldn't care, to be honest with you. And you're right, McAdoo hasn't always shown him the right respect. And it's clear, and I know it's been some people's point of view, that McAdoo now went and started disciplining guys after he never disciplined Beckham, and that didn't sit well with guys. Might be true. That might be true. Now, I can tell you, I know he didn't, and I was on him last year, folks. You remember the argument we got in about disciplining Beckham. He clearly never disciplined Beckham. That's come back to bite him. I don't think there's any question. Is it the root of all these evils? No. But again, when he starts disciplining guys after he didn't discipline Beckham, it's a hard thing to do. You can't be selective in your discipline. Gary in Brantford. What's up, Gary?
Mike, how are you?
Good. What's up?
Now, this is going to come off. I don't want to sound like a spoiled Giants fan. I am so thankful that I was able to witness 4 Super Bowls. And I'm not one of those fans that like to throw people on the bus. I get it. I'm a Mets fan. I'm a Knicks fan, so I know what it's like to suffer. But you would agree, everyone always says the Giants are a classy organization. They always do everything right, correct?
Most of the time.
Why do guys get a pass?
Who?
The special teams coach, Quinn. He's been there forever. When has the Giants had a return game? if I see another fair catch, if the Giants are supposed to be a good defense, do you know how much of a threat they would be if they had a guy who would be able to return?
Well, the Giants don't have a good defense this year. If you've been watching, they have a terrible defense. I mean,
and what about guys that are on the sidelines? I'm sick and tired of seeing Tyree, Mark Herschlick, Jesse Armstead. It's these guys. Yeah, the Giants are loyal, but sometimes that could also hurt you. I'm sick of. I'm so fed up, Mike. I don't. Everyone on they're all of them. They can all.
Listen, I don't know. Listen, again, you can blame people who have the right to be blamed, and people otherwise it can get a little silly. The point is, listen, what they do is when it gets bad, and you have to go in and make changes, you make complete changes. This would be a year where it gets so bad that you have to blow it up, and that means you start from scratch. General manager, coach, staff. It could be that kind of year. Ed Mohegan, what's up, Ed?
Hey, Mike. You know what? This really reminds me way back when the Cowboys won with, when they won the Super Bowl with Switzer. You know, everybody said he was such a great coach, and that was Jimmy Johnson's team. Then the following year, they were 6-10, and the following year, he's out Chen Gailey's coaching. I agree with the other caller. I know the defensive coordinator, didn't do a great job with the Rams, but this Giant team is better than that Giant team. He had a coach, Sam Bradford, who was not good at the time. They had no great players on that team. I don't
Why
think
would
it's
you
the
elevate
team.
him? Why would you elevate him when the defense absolutely fell apart yesterday? And that's his defense. That defense didn't try yesterday.
I want to see. I'm going to tell you why.
They didn't try for him yesterday either. He's the defensive coordinator. He gets indicted here too. That team didn't give his defense didn't give an effort yesterday. That's his defense.
No, I understand that. It's not just because of yesterday's game, but all season I've never seen the Giants in such disarray. I just don't think they're responding to McAdoo. I'd like to see how they respond to Spagnuolo, even on an interim basis.
You're not going to see. I don't think that this is not about Spagnuolo's candidacy. I disagree. I think you're way off base because I don't think Spags has earned that. I really don't. I'm being honest. Not here. His defense was playing well this year. That'd be a different story. It's not playing well. Mike joins us. What's up, Mike?
Hey, Mike, I'm curious. What do you think? Do you think maybe Spagnuolo's undermining?
I don't believe that. I'm not going to accuse somebody. Last year, the defense played great. I'm not going to accuse somebody of doing that. I have no reason to. Now you're getting into become a conspiracy theorist. I don't have any reason to go that way. But I do know the defense is undermining both of them. The players are undermining both of them. That I don't need to have a conspiracy about. That's a fact. Larry in Aberdeen. What's up, Larry?
Hey, Mike, I got two questions for you.
Yeah.
I know people are saying that the team is quitting, but is there a more serious problem in the locker room that the offense and the defense is fractured, that they don't – it's almost like a split on the team?
I don't see that. I haven't seen that. I mean, I don't see that being the issue. I think this is more of a entire team issue. This is one of those years where there's just a malaise around the team. It happens. It does happen to teams. There's no question. Sal in Parsippany. What's up, Sal?
Hey, Mike. Wow. Yeah, we got spoiled around here, Mike. We're spoiled all those years of good Giant defense. We got spoiled all those years of good Yankee managers, and spoiled all this good years of talk radio with you, Mike. But one last thing is, what did you expect before the game started? Because we did have a lot of guys out hurt. What did you think?
I didn't know if they would win or not. I didn't have any reason to believe they would win the game, but I thought they would show up in the game. The Rams aren't capable of beating somebody like that, so I would have thought they would play. I thought it could be a close game. I didn't have any reason to think it wouldn't be. Bob in Garden City, what's up, Bob?
Mike, you always make a point that it's very hard to get a good quarterback like Eli, like Roethlisberger.
Very hard.
Like Brady.
Very hard. Yes.
It's also very hard to get a coach. It's hard to be a coach. It's hard to be a head coach in the NFL.
No, absolutely.
This guy came in as an offensive coordinator. He's a good offensive coordinator. I don't think he's a good coach. I don't think he's going to be able to last. I think he's, I think this really started, Week 15 when Coughlin was coach with Beckham and the Panthers. You got to discipline these guys, and and if you don't, this is what happens. And 11-5 was a very big surprise last year. I think maybe you could write it off to the fact that the coach was new. But I think he's gone. It's not the Giant way to fire somebody in the middle of the season. That'll never happen. But I think he's out of here, especially I look at the line for the next game. The Giants are underdogs against San Francisco.
Well, I think that's at least in San Francisco. The games that will be destructive will be those December games here. Those will be the ones. Now, yesterday was destructive, but we haven't even hit Thanksgiving yet. There's a lot of football to be played. They still have 8 games to play. Kansas City's going to come in here. They're going to go to Oakland. They're going to go to Denver, which has its own problems, on a Sunday night. I mean, and I'll tell you, watch Elway. Elway will erupt there very soon. Mount Elway will be erupting before, I don't know, maybe it has today already, but Mount Elway will be erupting there very soon. Elway doesn't take this. There's just no way. Matt joins us. What's up, Matt?
Hey, what's going on? We got a long season of suffering left for us Giants fans. And I personally, I'd like to say that I think this honestly stems back all the way to Coughlin departing, and I think this has to do with lack of discipline to someone like Odell Beckham Jr., who probably is one of the most talented receivers I've ever actually seen, but he's bigger than the team. He takes penalties after scoring touchdowns, and he says, I'm going to do what I have to do to make a statement. You know what I mean? At the expense of the team. And I don't think Davis Webb is the answer. I've heard so many people saying Davis Webb's the answer. I don't think that's the case. I think this team needs to be disciplined. I think these guys need to have a better attitude. People say they quit on the coach. They quit on New York. We're New Yorkers. We hold our teams to a standard. And you know what? These guys aren't playing for us. They're selfish. They don't give a crap about us.
Well, that is true. I mean, that is true. And I think you're right about the discipline, and no one in this town anywhere yelled as much about Beckham and his discipline than I have. I started yelling at it. I yelled at Tom Coughlin about it. I yelled at John Mara about it. I yelled at the new coach about it. I've yelled at everybody about it. I yelled at Beckham about it. So, I mean, I didn't leave anybody out. And I think it has been destructive to the team. And I do think it sowed seeds that were bad. I completely agree with that. But this is even worse than that. The new Honker Auto Leasing